everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. We're your boys. We always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. Coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio, I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playalog. Toronto has evened it up, everybody. It is a completely new series. At this point, it's effectively just a wild card series, or honestly, just a regular series in the season. Right. 3 games stand between the Toronto Blue Jays and potentially a World Series appearance. Just 2 more wins. That is it. That's all we're asking, folks. They were down in a hole, and they clawed themselves out of it. We're going to break down yesterday's game, then talk a little bit about tonight's game, which we will be live for, everybody, here
Shocker.
At 5:30. You're going to be live for every bloody game, and now we are assured at least one game in Toronto, a Game 6. Let's start off immediately with that box score. 8-2 Toronto. Offense alive. They're kind of making up for what happened in Games 1 and Game 2. It feels like all the hits that weren't falling in those games, now all of a sudden, they are falling, and the shoe's on the other foot, and Seattle's like, whoa, holy crap, we can't stop this offense right now.
Yeah, they're putting their shoes on their heads. They're trying to turn things around over there in Seattle. If you've been seeing the broadcast, crazy rally caps they got going on over there.
Can somebody also, too, just quickly, in the comments, a Seattle fan, where did that start? Why is that happening?
But, I mean, shout out. I mean, it's pretty freaking hilarious, especially when you're stacking a bunch on each other. But look, the Blue Jays offense, I'm not surprised. This is the way the Blue Jays have been playing all year long. And when they were struggling in the first 2 games in Toronto, what were they doing? They were being aggressive, looking for their pitch to hit and attacking it. What they do in the next 2 games here, or the last 2 games in Seattle, guess what? Look for a pitch to hit and was aggressive. We broke it down on the pregame show. They were looking for heaters off of Luis Castillo, the sinker and the fastball. What did they do in the first inning that was very quick? They got 3 outs, but they were all trying to hit the fastball. One guy was fooled. That was Nathan Lucas on a slider. He did make contact, put it in play, but no strikeouts. They put the ball in play, and then what happened over some time? You started to see the offense cook. They threw up 11 hits, scored 8 runs. This is what the Blue Jays do. And now, we'll break it down later, they're going up against Bryce Miller, who you already saw the previous Sunday. You've seen him. You know what he's going to attack you with. Get ready to hit whatever's coming to you. But the Blue Jays boys, they're back. Honestly, I don't think they ever left because of the fact that they are doing the same approach, and this team's been so damn consistent all year long.
Yeah, they were getting a little unlucky in games 1 and 2, and whether it's a little bit of that luck coming around or what have you, we are now seeing runs come around the base pass, and 13 the day before that. That's 21 runs in the last 18 innings of baseball. Is that good? You tell me. Now, we're going to talk about the offense a little bit more as this progresses, but first things first, we got to give a shout out here to the craziest man on the goddamn month that you have ever seen. He went full-on psychopath mode last night, folks. You saw that jungle cat level intensity in his eyeballs. 5.2 innings, 3 hits, it actually ended up being 2 earned runs, because when I posted this out initially, it was only 1 earned run, and then inevitably 1 came around, so it is what it is. So 2 earned runs right there, 5 strikeouts. But the moment of the night, the defining thing, the cherry on top of all of this, is when John Schneider was coming out. There was a runner on first base. John Schneider's coming out. He's thinking, okay, time to pull Mad Max. He'd been cooking the entire evening, and Mad Max, he wasn't having it.
No, he wasn't. Look, all of you guys who might be complaining about John Schneider's quick hooks, and even in this situation, you could even argue it's debatable. But I got to side with Mad Max here. I wouldn't want him out of the game, because who was the guy that he was going to go up against? I believe he was going up against Randy Arozarena, if I'm not mistaken, because it was the 3rd time through the lineup. John Schneider relies on the statistics, right? It was Randy Arozarena there in the top or the bottom of the 5th, where he already got him. He was 0 for 2 against Arozarena, or Arozarena was against Max Scherzer. Man, he knew exactly what to do in that situation to get him out. And John Schneider coming out, looking at the analytics 3rd time through, said, hey, F off. We got to see the John Boy Reed lip reading on that and to see exactly what he said. But I can imagine it sounded something like that. Max Scherzer tells him to go back. He strikes out Randy Arozarena, comes back in the game, like you said, pitched another 2 outs, then was pulled from the game when he started to have a little bit of struggles walking Josh Naylor, who was all over him on
walking Jorge Polanco, but yes.
Well, sorry, excuse me. I misread. I looked ahead right there. Jorge Polanco, and then taken out of the game. But yeah, Mad Max, that's the reason why I bring him in. Veteran leadership, can tell the manager to F off, and go win a freaking ball game and close it out.
I will also give some respect, honestly, to John Schneider as well, right? He went out there and he actually listened to his starter. And if there's anyone that you're going to listen to, it's somebody like Max Scherzer. When he's got that look in his eyeballs and when he was pitching the way that he was yesterday, you're going to take his word for it.
Because he knew what to do. Like he said in his post-game interview on MLB Network, like, I knew exactly what I needed to do against Randy Rosarina. I knew the exact sequences I need to do. And then John Schneider coming up and being like, hey, we're going to take care of this ball game. He'd be like, well, F no. Like, do you think this guy over here knows better what to do against Randy Rosarina than I do? Of course, he does.
But again, that's why I got to give respect also to John, too, for listening to his start. He came out there, he had his game plan, but then when Mad Max said, get back in there, he did in fact listen. Now, he might have been a little scared as well because the look in Max Scherzer's eyeballs, it was intense, folks. He jokingly came out after the fact and said, yeah, I thought he was going to kill me. And obviously he's joking right there, but he did look absolutely psychopathic in that one moment. That's just Max Scherzer being Max Scherzer. And even the boys in the dugout after the fact, like George Springer was like imitating him. They were all joking about it. So it was clear, like, everybody thought that was freaking awesome, and I just got to give a tip of the cap to Max Scherzer for, after struggling throughout all of September, not pitching for like the better part of a month, basically, to come out and to do that in the biggest moment of time. Awesome stuff.
Well, you never know what can happen. Like if there's a game 7, his name might be called upon yet again. You never freaking know. Now, of course, Max Scherzer was a large part of the victory last night, but we got to give some credit to that offense as well. Like you mentioned, 21 runs in 2 games, right? 8 runs yesterday for the Toronto Blue Jays. The total amount of runs they've scored in this postseason has been absolutely ludicrous. The most runs scored through the first 8 games, they are 3rd all time in postseason history, right behind the Orioles of 1970 and the Red Sox of 1999. Now, I know the Red Sox didn't win in 1999 because the first time they won was 2004 since the curse of the Bambino. But yeah, check that 1970 Orioles for me. But that's pretty damn good. Listen, if you can be up there with the 2001 Red Sox and 2004 Yankees, who actually got knocked out by the 2004 Red Sox, it's still a pretty damn good sign.
And the Orioles did win in 1970, by the way.
There you go.
They won. They won in 5 games over the Cincinnati Reds, apparently.
Probably dominate them with that offense. And there's a lot of guys you got to give the flowers to. Look at this. This is more history happening right here in Blue Jay history. Minimum 30 at-bats, the highest postseason batting average by any Toronto Blue Jay. There's Vladimir Guerrero Jr., $455 million. $455 million. I was thinking about the contract. $455 batting average. And then right there, right behind him, Ernie Clement, 452. He's kind of becoming an unsung hero amongst many unsung heroes on this Blue Jays team. But to circle back to Vladdy right here, I want to hear no more talk about the contract.
There won't be any.
No more $500 million, not worth it. This guy's setting records. He's carrying this team in this postseason. This is what you paid for. In fact, his contract hasn't even kicked in yet. He's still in his arbitration for right now. So if anyone's complaining, my goodness.
No, there isn't.
Get out of here.
There is no complaints at this point. I even think the deepest seated haters can't have anything to say right now about Vladdy. Now, I do want to just flash right back here because I think what's really cool about this too is like you got Vladdy, you got Ernie doing some great stuff, but then behind them, you got Paul Molitor right there, right? 1993. And I know that all these old heads, like they'll come out and they'll tell you, I've actually heard your dad say something similar to this before. He's been like, yeah, like we don't have anyone on the team anymore that bats 400. We need to, we got to get guys on. That's how they're going to win, right? We'll take a look, right? There's 2 guys on that list right there. It's Paul Molitor and it's Roberto Alomar, both in 1993. Both of them with incredible batting averages. And then you got Vladdy and you got Ernie Clement
above them all.
Above both of those guys. And clearly we know what transpired in 1993. I don't have to remind all of you folks, but point being, we do have some serious catalysts on this offense right now. When you got multiple guys batting 450 or above, I think we're going to be doing okay offensively speaking.
Yes, we are. And we also got to give a tip of the cap to this guy. We didn't shut him out yesterday, and some people are getting on us being, how could you not? Well, how could I not after 2 nights in a row doing the exact same thing? Mr. Andres Jimenez. He popped off. He got it jump started yesterday with another 2-run homer. That's back-to-back games with 2-run homers. I think we looked it up. The last time before 2 nights ago's game, he hit a home run. Was like August.
It was mid-August, I believe. Yeah, it was mid-August. Yeah. So we were coming up to about 2 months of time, since an Andres Gimenez home run. And by the way, guys, I didn't look prior to that mid-August one, but I'd imagine it was also a long time.
He also was hurt too.
He was hurt as well. So he doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but all of a sudden he is hitting bombs. He's got 2 in the last 2 games, 8 ribbies.
Crazy
for Andres Gimenez.
8-9 spot. Like, hello.
Like, that is just truly insane. And when we're doing our live play-by-plays and our reactions and everything, I will now, from this moment forward, not be looking at the Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Andres Gimenez inning as anything else other than an opportunity to score, because we've been looking at it as like, oh, okay, well, this will be a slower inning, it'll be a dead inning, and then we'll get ready for the next inning, because then we'll have our top guys going. No. Those 2 lads last night, batting 8th and 9th respectively, were cooking.
Yeah, everybody's buying into the game plan right now. And everyone's hitting. Maybe you could look at Addison Barger as the one guy who he's looking like he's a little lost. Like,
but defensively,
hey, we didn't even bring him up here. Defensively, he got an assist out there in the outfield to end that inning where the Mariners starting to rally, gaining a little bit of momentum, and then 2 great catches. One like kind of ranging to his right, over shoulder catch, and then you had one where it was a diving to his left. It was just
he was
phenomenal.
Flying around out there.
Even though he couldn't contribute with the bat, he contributed with the defense, which a lot of people were even saying, like, I don't like this play. Why throw out him in right field? Why not put Miles Straw out there? Shout out to you, Addison Barger.
100%. Yeah, exactly. If you're not going to show up offensively speaking, I mean, do what you were doing out there. Give us 100% effort. Now, clearly, the win yesterday has adjusted the odds, folks. These are the updated odds according to Fangraphs to move on. They are still slightly favoriting the Seattle Mariners, and you can see why they're doing it. They have like the game-by-game projections right here, and I do think that a big factor of this is we did lose to Bryce Miller. Granted, we have Kevin Gausman going, so I don't know why they're hating on us too much here.
I know.
But they got Bryce Miller and Brian Wu going today, which is clearly going to be a challenge for the Toronto Blue Jays. It is also the final game in Seattle. However, I mean, this might as well be a home game for us because we've been killing it. Actually, I brought that up
right here.
We've been killing it in Seattle. We're 5-0 in Seattle so far this year. We're batting .335 as a team with an OPS of almost Aaron Judge level.
I like these odds. I like these. I mean, I know they're giving us only 45%. But I like these odds to win this game here tonight and go up 3-2.
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it, and I get where the math is coming from here. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I think that they're slightly underrating the Toronto Blue Jays here, putting us at a 48.1%. I'm looking at this thing right now, and I'm thinking this is a 50-50. I 100%. Really do. I look at this, and I'm like, you flip a coin, it could go either way, all right? Seattle gave it to us in the first 2. We gave it straight back to them in the following 2. This has been a series where all of our expectations are being flipped on its head. We thought that Mad Max was going to be a problem. Mad Max is incredible. We thought that Seattle was going to be fatigued after that 15-inning game against Detroit. They come out and they kick our ass. We thought that we were on the back foot. We go into Seattle, we kick their ass. This is a series where anything can happen in any given time. Flip a coin. It's a 50-50 shot that the Jays are going to the World Series.
Yeah, like I would almost lean like Jays a little bit more because, again, like it hasn't proved so far in this series, but we do have a home field advantage for the remaining 3. And we've got the momentum swing right now. Like, if I'm Seattle, I need to get out of my own home ballpark right now.
I got to go back to Toronto.
I need to go back to Toronto. It's the same feeling that we had when we were in Toronto. I was like, get me out of here and get to Seattle. Like, we need a little bit of a reset. So it depends on how you look at it. I mean, that might maybe favor the Seattle Mariners if things swings the other way. But regardless, I like where the Blue Jays at right now, and especially like you brought up these stats. I really do love it. So speaking of which, let's break down this game just a little bit. We're going to tease this one, but we're going to do a full breakdown at 5:30 on our live stream tonight. Kevin Gausman up against Bryce Miller, who did dominate us. You know what? I said this earlier, because the Blue Jays have faced Bryce Miller recently, and you could make the same argument about the Seattle Mariners facing Gausman. I believe in our team more than the Mariners to make that adjustment this time around. You've seen him already. You know what he's going to attack with. You've already established that game plan throughout the entire series, and it's worked so far to your favor. I think you do it again. I think the Blue Jays, with their luck they've had in Seattle, I think they're going to win this game, man.
So here's the thing. I made a claim yesterday on the live stream, and I'm going to stick to it. Everything that pretty much everything Adam and I have said so far in breaking everything down has been fully opposite 180 shift, because everything that we think we know, just the opposite happens. I think probably, and I'm siding with Fangraphs here, I think that, the Seattle Mariners are the slight favorites to win this game. And if I had to bet my life on it, I might go with the Seattle Mariners, and therefore Toronto's gonna win, because I don't know dick about fuck everybody, and it's clear that everything that we are thinking in this series, the other is happening. Toronto's got the momentum right now. The offense is cooking, and even though Bryce Miller did deliver it to the boys in game 1, you got Kevin Gausman on the bump right now. Seattle's reeling. They're on the back foot. Oh, Jesus, now I'm talking myself into Toronto, which means Seattle's gonna win. I gotta slow down right here.
That's like, I truly, here's the thing. It's been working for you, because everything that you've said has been the opposite. For me, I said they won game 3, and they won game 3. I did say they lose yesterday. They didn't. I'm sticking with it, man. Like, I truly believe in the momentum right now, and I can't ignore the stats. Blue Jays are going to win, and their offense is going to pop off tonight.
You gotta hope so, folks. We're going to be live at 5:30 this evening, breaking down the game further, and then obviously watching every single pitch. Regardless, we are going to be going to a game 6, guys. So strap in. Sunday now has another Toronto Blue Jays game slated. If you haven't already done so, hit that like, smash that subscribe button, guys. Hit that hype button too if you have the capability to do so. Helps out our channel immensely. $4 a month become a YouTube member. Shouldn't thank you to all of our current YouTube members. You guys are amazing.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And as always,
go Chase, go!